Okinawa is an island off of Japan. It's owned by Japan now. It was, after World War II, owned by the United States. We gave it back to Japan, I think, in 1973, and I was there in 74. But Okinawa also historically is the founding place of karate. Karate, my empty hands. Empty hand fighting. Karate. Sometimes we joke around and be like, go clean your weapon. I go wash my hands. And that was like a joke to the Marines that were into karate. At that particular time, karate was the hand-to-hand combat modality in the United States Marine Corps, at which I had an instructor before I went to Okinawa that was a hand-to-hand combat instructor. So we weren't learning sport karate. We were learning hand-to-hand combat under the umbrella of karate. Now later on, hand-to-hand combat was turned over to jiu-jitsu. But that particular time, it was pure karate. Knees, fists, elbow, headbutt, palm strikes, eye gouge, all that, ricking, tearing, all that type of stuff. Anyway, we went to, as I continued to work out with my sensei, Sensei Jiro Shiroma, 6th-degree black belt in the Shoryu system under Master Nakazato. He liked Ralph and he liked our spirit, our attitude, and we could take it. We were tough young guys. I was 18 at that particular time. Ralph was probably about 20. So we were young guys that were highly motivated and to do that. And he saw we weren't afraid to go anywhere with him. So he took us to these different places around Okinawa to spar with Okinawans that really wanted that work. I mean, that real work. Now, of course, in their mind, they're thinking they're just going to beat the shit out of some Americans. Of course, in our minds, we're thinking we're not going to let that happen. We're going to represent America, the Marine Corps, ourselves. So anyway, my first fight with the Okinawan was very interesting. So we show up. Ralph and I would drive through all these hills, dirt roads. We're riding with the sensei. He's pumping us up the whole time. It took us probably about a half hour to get there because of the winding dirt roads. And we get to this little, like village. The Okinawans are there. They know we're coming. I see a guy in there, hitting another guy in the back with a baseball bat. Hitting him in his stomach with a baseball bat. He just body toughening exercise. He's standing like this, and one guy hitting him in his back, one guy hitting him in his chest and stomach. Yeah. Just body hardening exercise they're doing. So that was, I guess, supposed to scare us, but we were young and we were ready. So me and Ralph are in the corner. I wonder which one we're going to have to roll with. So another guy's in there, Okinawa, getting cigarettes put out on his back. They put the cigarette out slowly and he just takes the pain. So these were all body hardening exercises they were doing. Another guy is just punching, not a map of water, he's punching a brick wall. Boom, 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 right hand, boom, 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 left hand. So this is the scene we come into. We see these guys, they're hard and they're not smiling. They don't look friendly. This is not a game. So my sensei talks to their sensei. He gets us all set up. So he gets me set up on one side and my opponent on the other side. My opponent was probably, actually I'm about 140. I was about 140 and I was about 5'7". So my opponent at that point, he's like, maybe 5'5", and maybe about 142. He's a little stocky. But I'm figuring, I can do this, because I'm just sparring bigger people. Anyway, little did I know. So my sensei says to me, don't stop till I tell you to stop. And I want you to punch and fight as hard as you can. If you break his nose, break his jaw, it doesn't matter. It's okay. He can fight and you can fight. Then he tells him the same thing in Japanese, which I know he told him the same thing. The guy nodded his head, looking at me. I'm like, okay. I'm nodding my head looking at him. So we square up, bow to the sensei, bow to each other. Hajime, that means begin. We begin, and my man came at me so fast. is so hard. It was like a German Shepherd. He closed the distance in less than a second and drilled me. He would have caught me in the face. I kind of backed up a little bit just from the instinct, and he drilled me two powerful punches and a side kick that threw me back right on my ass. And he screamed as he did it, and all his people was happy, and I was a little shook, So we moved around, and I realized I need to keep my pace up very high because my pace was a little bit too slow. I'm fighting a real animal, so he's coming at me with that same intensity, and I did more defense at that particular point because I wasn't quite, prepared for the intensity. I did a lot of defense, blocking, but it was hard for me at that point to get anything out. And I really wasn't satisfied with my performance. I mean, I didn't quite get my ass kicked, but actually I kind of did. So that was, that taught me about the Okinawa. Then my next fight was a rematch at that same dojo.